The 10 most anticipated games of 2026. If you thought the last few years were packed, hold on to your controllers, because 2026 isn't just another year of releases. It feels like the year the next gen finally actually starts. We've moved past the cross-gen era. The PS4 and Xbox One are officially in the rearview mirror, and developers are finally pushing the silicon of the PS5, Series X, and the rumored Switch 2 to their absolute breaking points. Welcome to Pixel Pop. Today, we're looking at the heavy hitters, from the literal most anticipated game of the decade to the return of horror royalty and some indie darlings that might just steal the spotlight. These are the 10 games we cannot wait to play in 2026. Before we dive in, do us a huge favor, hit that subscribe button and ring the bell. We're building something special here at Pixel Pop, and we want you in the front row. Alright, let's get into it. Starting us off at number 10 is a project that feels like a match made in heaven. We're talking about Joe 007, First Light, developed by IO Interactive, the same geniuses behind the recent Hitman World of Assassination trilogy.
Survived thanks to blind luck.
This isn't just another Bond game. This is an origin story. We haven't had a truly great James Bond game since, what, GoldenEye? Maybe Everything or Nothing? It's been a long drought, but IO Interactive is the perfect studio for this. They understand social stealth, intricate level design, and making the player feel like a professional. First Light features a younger 20-something Bond before he earns his OO status. Think Casino Royale vibes, but with the sandbox. Freedom of Hitman. You aren't just shooting your way through hallways. You're infiltrating high-stakes parties, using gadgets that actually feel like experimental tech, and making choices that affect how the mission unfolds. Rumor has it they've upgraded their Glacier engine to handle massive, open-ended environments in cities like Rome and Istanbul. The lighting alone looks like it's going to melt GPUs. If IO can blend their signature, choose your own path gameplay with a cinematic narrative, this could be the definitive spy experience. At number 9, we have the What on Earth or Moon is This? Award winner Pragmata. Capcom announced this way back in 2020, and it's become a bit of a meme because of the delays. But in 2026, it's finally supposed to be in our hands. Capcom has described this as Logan in space. You play as Hugh, an investigator on a lunar station that has been taken over by a hostile AI. Accompanying you is Diana, a young girl who is actually an android with powers we don't fully understand yet. Capcom is on a legendary Golden Age run right now with Resident Evil and Monster Hunter. Their RE engine is a marvel, and Pragmata is their first big attempt at a completely new sci-fi IP in years. The trailers show gravity-defying combat and a world that feels incredibly tactile. Everything from the scuffs on the spacesuit to the way the lunar dust kicks up looks phenomenal. It's weird, it's ambitious, and it's Capcom. We're in. Number 8 takes us back to Albion. Fable. For a long time, fans were worried. Would an RPG made by the Forza Horizon developers actually feel like Fable? Based on what we've seen for the 2026 release window, the answer is a resounding yes. Fable has always been about the balance between being a legendary hero and being a total idiot who kicks chickens. Playground Games has captured that British humor perfectly. The world looks gorgeous. No surprise there given their history with Forza, but it's the consequences system that has us excited. This is a full reboot. We're seeing a world where your actions actually deform the environment and your character's reputation. Want to be a saint? The world loves you. Want to be a villain? You'll grow horns and people will scream when you enter the tavern. It's the return of the hero's journey, with a sarcastic twist, and it's exactly what the fantasy genre needs right now. Coming in, at number 7, Logan is finally getting the M-rated treatment he deserves. Marvel's Wolverine. Insomniac Games are the kings of the superhero genre right now. Their Spider-Man games are masterpieces of movement and combat, but Wolverine isn't Peter Parker. He doesn't pull his punches, and he definitely doesn't make jokes while he's fighting. This is a mature rated title. That means the combat is going to be brutal, visceral, and bloody. We're expecting a more linear, character-driven story compared to the open world of Spider-Man. Think God of War 2018 meets the X-Men. We're seeing a version of Logan that is tired, angry, and trying to find his place in a world that fears him. If the gameplay loop of heal, hack, and slash is as satisfying as we think it will be, This will be the best Marvel game yet. Number 6 is for the weird fiction fans. Remedy is following up the success of Alan Wake 2 with Control 2. If you haven't played the first Control, you're missing out on a world where a stapler can be a weapon of mass destruction. The sequel is leaning even harder into the supernatural. Jesse Faden is back as the director, but the oldest house is no longer the only setting. Remedy has become the master of atmospheric horror. Action! They are promising a shift toward more melee-focused combat and even more environmental disruption. The way the concrete walls shattered in the first game was impressive, but with 2026 hardware, we're expecting every room to be a physics-based playground. Plus, the lore connections to Alan Wake mean we're going to be spending hours on Reddit trying to decode the secret messages. Halfway through at number 5, we have Monster Hunter Stories 3, Twisted Reflection. While the mainline MH games are about the hunt, Stories is about the bond. It's a turn-based JRPG that gives Pokemon a serious run for its money. The 2026 entry is rumored to be a massive leap forward in terms of world scale. We're moving away from segmented zones into a more seamless open world where you can fly your monsties anywhere. The Twisted Reflection subtitle suggests a darker story involving parallel dimensions or corrupted monsters. For fans who want the depth of Monster Hunter but the chill vibes of a creature collector, this is the big one for 2026. At number 4, we have the Souls-like that isn't actually a Souls-like, Phantom Blade Zero. This game looks like a high-budget kung fu movie come to life. The developers have clarified that while it has challenging bosses, the combat is much faster and more fluid than Elden Ring. It's Wuxia Punk! The sheer animation quality here is staggering. Every parry, every clash of steel, and every finishing move looks handcrafted. It's set in an alternate medieval China filled with clockwork machines and dark magic. If the actual gameplay is even half as responsive as the trailers look, this is going to be the sleeper hit that becomes a gaudy contender. Number 3, the king of survival horror returns. Resident Evil, Requiem, also known as RE9. Capcom is doing something bold here. The game is split between two perspectives. You play as a new FBI agent named Grace Ashcroft in a pure survival horror mode. Think limited ammo, cramped hallways, and genuine terror. Then, you switch to Leon S. Kennedy for action horror, segments that feel more like RE4. It's been 30 years since the Raccoon City incident in the game's timeline, and Requiem is bringing us back to where it all began. The RE engine has been updated again, and the environmental damage system means monsters can actually tear through walls and floors to get to you. It's the ultimate fan service game that also pushes the genre forward. Our runner-up at number 2 is the one we've all been dreaming about. Fallout 3 Remake. With the massive success of the Fallout TV show, Bethesda knows the iron is hot. This isn't just a remaster, it's a full remake in the Starfield version of the Creation Engine. Imagine the Capital Wasteland with modern lighting, no loading screens between buildings, and combat that actually feels like a modern shooter. They're reportedly adding new side quests and expanding the karma system to be more impactful. For many of us, Fallout 3 was our first entry into the Wasteland, and seeing it reborn with 2026 tech is a literal dream come true. Was there ever any doubt? Number 1 is Grand Theft Auto Z. Rockstar isn't just making a game. They're building a digital state. Leonida is massive. We're talking about a level of detail where every NPC has a schedule, every storefront is enterable, and the social media in the game is a living, breathing parody of our own world. It's been over a decade since GTA 5. The expectations are impossible, yet Rockstar has a history of meeting them. The Bonnie and Clyde story of Lucia and Jason looks grounded and emotional, a far cry from the zaniness of Trevor Phillips. The water physics alone are better than most games' entire graphics engines. This isn't just the biggest game of 2026, it's likely the biggest entertainment event of the decade. So, there you have it. 2026 is looking like a year that will go down in gaming history. But what do you think? Did we miss your most anticipated title? Are you Team GTA or Team Resident Evil? Let us know in the comments below. We read as many as we can, and if you enjoyed this deep dive, give that like button a tap. It really helps the channel grow. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.